We thank you for joining us tonight. Amen. Nagpapasalamat tayo sa Panginoon. I was telling, I think, Pastor Alex, sa mga pastors na nandito sa Doha, I feel like siya yung talagang, for some reason, although we have not known each other for a long time, I think I'm closest to him the most. And I praise and thank the Lord for this life and for this learning. Sana lang dinala niyo yung mga ways niyo. It's okay. Next year, during our 10th World Mission Conference, we'll be inviting the churches to join us in our mission conference because that will be our 10th year. If the Lord will still allow us for that. Thank you so much, Pastor, for coming. And thank you for bringing Brother Moses tonight. You are the visitor. Well, are you ready for the preaching of the Word of God? Amen. Before we introduce our speaker, let me introduce Ma'am Bell. Mrs. Angeles, please stand. Mrs. Bihelia Angeles, she is fondly called Ma'am Bell. We are actually neighbors in the Philippines, although we have not known each other until we met in La Loma. But I just checked in my files this week with Brother Iboy. I did a funeral service for your dad. Okay. And she's a very young lady and very dedicated to the ministry. And the Lord gave them 3 kids, Sammy. We are hoping that Sammy can come to Qatar and work here. He will be a part of BBC. And we are, who is the second? Paula or Tim? Tim. And then Paula. And their kids are very close to our kids as well. So, Ma'am, thank you so much for coming, and we really appreciate you taking this trip with Pastor Aviles. Pastor Aviles is a seasoned servant of the Lord. Amen. Like myself, he spent many years assisting pastors like Pastor Estefona in Hebron Baptist Church and also in the Loma Baptist Church for 7 years, and also pastoring the church. But one day the Lord told him to go to Thailand as a missionary. And he responded to the Lord's call. He left. It was very hard for him and his family to leave the Loma, but they left and went to Thailand in 2009. So they've been in Thailand now for the last 10 years. And we had the privilege of visiting their church in Chayapong. That's the place. Chayapong, you see the screen? That is church, that is Chayapong, Thailand. And they are really reaching high for the Lord. And in Thailand, if you have 30 members, that's a mega church. It's a mega church because it's a, he will tell us about this coming Friday. We will show you a video presentation about the ministry in Thailand. And so we want to give him as much time as possible. So let's all welcome our speaker for tonight, Missionary Aguinaldo Don Angeles.
And thank you very much, Church, for giving us an opportunity to visit this wonderful place, especially wonderful people like you. I've heard a lot about what's happening here in Qatar. Actually, you've been part of our ministry for so many years already, and you've been supporting us, and you've been praying for us. One of the men here mentioned a while ago that we've heard a lot of us already before we came here, and I hope all those things are good. But I know Pastor Johnny for many years already. Since he was assisting Pastor Missionary Martin back in the Philippines in Iloilo. And him and Pastor Security is a good friend. They are like brothers. And the lost brother of Pastor Security. And it's good to have a good friend like him. I think the first time we met is when we preached in the Loma Baptist Church during one of our missions conference. And since then, we became good friends as well. And Thank you for everything that you have done for the past 10 years in our ministry there in Thailand. Actually, you've been praying and you've been supporting us for about 6 years already. 7, 6 years? 8 years already. The very first day that we started, we started the ministry here in Qatar. And let us open our Bible once again. We are so blessed. Actually, we're talking about it. We came here just to visit some blessings. Some of you thought that we came here to be a blessing. Actually, we came here to be blessed. The first day, the very first day when we arrived, we are welcomed with a beautiful accommodation. And thank you very much, church. This morning, we are welcomed with a very good accommodation once again. And we visit Pastor Narvaez's mall, that's what you said. And he showed us those beautiful things. Mall of Qatar? Mall of Danny. Okay, let us open our Bible once again. Let us all stand and let us open our Bible. We're going to look on 2 verses in John chapter 4. John chapter 4. A very familiar verse, and many messages was been preached on this message, and I hope tonight we will once again receive some blessing from the Word of God. Amen. Look at me in verse 34. Jesus said unto them, my need is to do the will of him that sent me. Chapter 4, verse 34. And to finish his work. Then he said this, say ye not, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes, and look at the field, for they are white already for harvest. Tonight I want to preach about, behold, the harvest. Lift up your eyes, look at the field, and behold the harvest. Father God in heaven, once again, we are blessed to be with these people, your people. Thank you for bringing us here. Thank you because of your mission to experience all these things that we are experiencing. Beautiful music, people who you brought here, fellowship, enjoyment, singing. It's been only good. Lord, once again we ask for your blessing as we look at this very important word that we have here. We once again focus our eyes to see what you saw. Bless us with one with glory of Jesus. We see things differently. Someone has said that our hearts, or it is true that what we see affects our heart. That is true. What you see affects your heart. But in another token, in the same fashion, our eyes see what we think is important. Our eyes see what is important to us. What we see depends on our point of view or point of reference. Sometimes it depends on what we want to see or what we think is important. We look on things differently. If I'm going to raise a piece of paper, let's say this sheet of paper, and put it on the floor. If a kid will see this, they will see something different. It is a piece of paper that he can convert to an airplane. If a writer saw this piece of paper, for him it is a medium, or a material where he can write his ideas. If a janitor saw this, it is a little. If a painter will see that, it is a medium wherein he can transform into an art. So we look on things in different way. Jesus got the attention of the disciples and command them to behold on something. When the word behold was mentioned in the Bible, we need to pay attention. Amen. We need to put our attention on the next words that will follow. Amen. There are about 1,298 verses where we can find the word behold. If you're going to study all those verses, we are going to learn a lot of things wherein God wants us to learn something from Him. The very first verse that word behold was mentioned is found in Genesis chapter 1 verse 29. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, God said, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb. What is this? Herb. Bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in that which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you, it shall be for me. Here we find the first presentation of God's wonderful provision. In verse 28, He gave the instruction and the command to Adam to replenish the world. Replenish the world. Had dominion over the things that He created. He commanded something, and after commanding something, He says, and behold, I gave you a word. Don't worry about your need, because I have already provided for you. Yeah. So it means that when He mentioned the first word, He wants us to learn that He is the great provider. Yeah. What we need to do is to focus on working on what He commanded us to do, and He will provide and have provided for our needs. Yeah. Referring to the verse, what Jesus said a while ago, He is inviting you and me tonight to give a special attention to what He is going to present, so we will not lose the message. I hope this evening you will give your attention very closely to what the Bible wants us to teach. Amen. And open your heart and accept what He commands us to do. Amen. Don't worry about how we can do it, because He has already provided what we need. Let us focus on what He commands us to do. Amen. He says, say not that there are yet 4 months that cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes, look on the field, for they are white already to the harvest. Amen. In the field there are a lot of things that they can see. The disciple can see a lot of things. But He led their eyes to see something that is important to Him. The field was, during the time, the field was a mixture of a brownish soil and green from the tender leaves of the wheat or barley. It is a mixture. When you look on the field, you are going to see the mixture of the brown soil and the sprouting seed, or the sprouting leaves from the seed. During their time, the harvest happened in the month of April, or March to April. So if you're going to count back the 4 months, this
passage of scripture happened during December time. The people during that time are relaxing to wait until those leaves grow up and yield some fruit. But Jesus said, look on the field, for they are already white and to harvest. Missions conference is God's way of interrupting our daily routine to get our attention, to refocus our eyes to see what is important to Jesus.
Yeah.
That is what is important to you. That is what is important to me. But what is important to Him. There are 3 points that I want you to focus this evening. First is this. It is the prospect. The prospect. They are white. Look on the field and look on the prospect. The Bible in Matthew chapter 13 verse 38, the field is about the world. So we are presented with this. The world filled with people. There are about 195 countries in the world today. Divided in 7 continents, housing 7.8 billion people. The harvest is plenteous. During that time, maybe the people around the world is just a fraction of what we have right now.
Amen.
How many is 7.8 billion? If you are going to give an opportunity to count it one by one, you're going to spend about 553 years counting 24 hours a day for 553 years. Do you want to start counting? Start now. Because you pass it over to your son and to your son and to your son's son, because it needs a lot of generation before you completed that 7.8 billion just for counting. We have 3 million here in Qatar. In Thailand, we have 70 million people. China is producing a lot. They have 1.4 billion, not including the big one. You're going to include the big one, or they're going to count much. You didn't get it. That is a joke. There are people everywhere. Everywhere we go, we're going to meet people.
Yes.
Everywhere. But we see people in different ways. To some, they're a good prospect for business. To some, they're a good prospect for a scam. But when you look at you, oh, this is a good, you want a good interest, brother? You want to join in a easy money? Just give 10,000 and it will earn 100,000 in 3 months. What is that? It is a scam. And they're looking everywhere for people that they can deceive. They look at you as a good prospect. You are a prospect to be deceived. Some, not only a good prospect to be deceived, but to be exploited. Sometimes we look at people and we say, you're good. You're good. You're not in trouble. They don't need anything about Jesus. You're doing good. Just look at, you're good. Some people are good people. And we wonder, they do really need, are they really need Jesus? Sometimes we are hesitant to present the gospel because we think that they are good people. But if we're going to look
those people in the eyes of Jesus, you will see the greatness. The verse in Genesis chapter 12, God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his ways upon the earth. And it destroyed all those people. Did it change? And it's happening. God is going to look on people. The same word, He will say, behold, they corrupted their ways. The prospect is, there is a potential harvest. Plentiful. It is already prepared. They are perishing. The time is running out. It is either our time will end because we are going to die, or their time will end because they will die, or the time of our harvest that God has given us will come into an end. There's a verse in the Bible, the night cometh when no man can work. John 9:4, and it is coming very near. Our time is running out. Just imagine the 1040 windows that is being emphasized during this month. Potential people. Our place is in that area. 70 million people, 96% Buddhist. India is a part in a little bit left, in the middle. They have 1.2 billion people, Buddhist. In down, Sri Lanka is a very small place. I don't know, about 5 million people living there. Africa, oh thank the Lord. The Lord brought the African people here. Yeah. You are a very special people. Yeah. God brought you to a very special place wherein you can hear a very special message about Jesus loving you. Amen. God loves you so much. He brought you here. Some of you are first time here. There is a very special message that God wants you to hear right now. God so loved you so much that He gave His only begotten Son. That if you're going to believe, whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. He wants to give you that special gift. You need to decide and to make the decision to repent on your sin and accept that you are wrong, that you need to be punished for eternal punishment in hell, and your only hope is Jesus Christ. Amen. The good news is this: He is the only one who rose from the grave to provide salvation for the whole world. Amen. And that included me and you. Amen. Our time is running out. God says, behold, look on the field. I hope as you look on this place, as you see people, not just an ordinary map, but people. People with souls that needs to be saved. Amen. So there is, number one, the prospect. Number two is this: there is a problem.
The problem is found in Matthew chapter 9, verse 37. Look at me in Matthew chapter 9. Then said unto the disciple, the harvest truly is plenteous. The same word. Behold, the harvest truly is plenteous. But the problem is this. The laborers are what? Few. Here, about Pastor Narvaez mentioned that there are about 10 Filipino pastors who are working here. The ones that, in Thailand, we have 60 that I know, Baptist churches. There are some big provinces in Thailand that has no gospel witness. Our place is a small place. If you're going to look on the map, you might not find that place. A very small place. A lot of places in Thailand has no gospel witness. Why? Because the laborers are few. There is a song that we love to sing during my younger years, and still love to sing. The lyrics goes like this. There is peace and contentment in my Father's house today. Lots of food on the table, and no one is turned away. There is singing and laughter as the hour passed by. But a hush counts the singing as the fathers have required. My house is full, but my field is empty. Who will go and work for me today? It seems my children wants to stay around my table, but no one wants to work on my field. No one wants to work on my field. What is the problem? Because of that comforted view. We've been comforted. It is very comfortable to sit. No one wants to labor. Everyone wants to sing and to enjoy the fellowship. Everyone wants to sing, to hear a godly message. Everyone wants to feast, but no one wants to work. That is the problem. We are too comfortable on our present condition right now. The churches are so blessed. We haven't seen this. What's happening right now in our mission in our churches is an unimaginable thing during our time. 30 years ago, we cannot enjoy what we're enjoying. Today we're feasting. The problem in mission or in churches today is so much food that we enjoy, and we are enjoying it. That is not a problem. But the problem is no one no longer wants to work. We just want to sit. We just want to rub our shoulders together and have some fellowship. We enjoy it so much. We focus on what is important to us and forget to focus our eyes on what is important to Jesus. The disciple brought them some meat to eat. Jesus needs to eat. He says, my meat is to do the will of Him that sent me and to finish His work. Behold, the harvest is ready. He wants to focus not on what is important to them, but what is important to Jesus. The problem is the few are very comfortable. No one wants to work. The problem is the people. God's people. I hope you will say this evening, the reason why the harvest or the laborers are few is because of me. Did you see the problem? It is because of me. It is because of you. It is because of you. It is because of us. We are preoccupied with so many non-essentials. The world employed us. And the world is benefiting on our sweat, talent, ability, time. No one wants to work. God's people. Yes, we need to work. But who will work in God's will? Who will say tonight, Lord, I've been spending a lot of things. I'm spending a lot of times feeling what I think is important to me. I heard the pastor mention the greatest tragedy of all is doing the wrong purpose in life. You wasted your time, you wasted your energy, you wasted your resources, you wasted everything because of the wrong focusing and working on the wrong purpose in life. God has saved us for something. Not only to enjoy the fellowship of being together, but to work together to reach the people that He died. The people, God's people, are too preoccupied with so many non-essentials. Sometimes we pastors are fighting together, fighting against each other with petty doctrinal issues. Sometimes I'm a fool as well. So the few, the people, the possession are misused. Just imagine new gadget will arrive and we, wow, I need this. You will buy a new one. It's good that if you will use it for the ministry. But sometimes we stack so many things and spend a lot of money for the non-essentials. I pray at the end of this conference, each and every one of us, and each member of this church, will make a personal decision to tell the Lord, employ me. You're already employed. It's good. But I hope you will have a courage to tell the Lord, Lord, help me. Put me in. Enlist me. Amen. As one of your laborers. And I didn't mean, doesn't mean that you're going to be a pastor someday. No. When I made that decision 33 years ago, I'm still young. I just don't know. 30 years ago, I made that personal decision to give my life to the Lord. Never entered into my mind that I'm going to be a pastor or to be a missionary someday. Never imagined that I'm going to stand before a great people like this and to share the message of His Word. Never. I just said to the Lord, Lord, I just want to give my life to you. You have given so much for me. Take my life. That's all. I just do the regular things, study the Bible, read the Bible, enroll in Bible school. Just doing the natural thing. Then one day, the Lord told me, I want you to pastor a church. If that's a good opportunity. to serve the Lord in a higher field. The first time I heard about Thailand is 22 years ago. When I heard it from Pastor Maragallanes, he died 3 years ago, a missionary in Thailand. He spent there for 10 years. The first time I heard about Thailand, I told the Lord, Lord, if you're going to call me in the foreign field, please, don't call me to Thailand. After 10 years after I prayed that prayer, I talked to my pastor, Pastor Tokero, I know 100% sure that God called me to go to Thailand. But my spirit, my flesh, doesn't want to go there. I was 45 years old when I became a missionary in Thailand. I just imagine you're going to learn and you're going to go back to grade level to learn how to speak Thai. Ko kai, ko kai, ko kwai, ko kwai. And the teacher was like, no, wrong pronunciation. Of course, my wife is, my hair is white already, but it turned like this. After 10 years of studying the language. My wife just covered her hair. It is better to make her younger than me looking younger. But I said, Lord, not in Thailand. But now I'm in Thailand. But who will say to the Lord, Lord, I'm here. I hope every one of us will have a courage to tell the Lord, Lord, enlist me. Then wait until God will give you a special place where He will reap the harvest. Amen. Be not afraid. God will not place you in a field where He will not make you qualified and ready. Amen. Don't be afraid how you will meet the need. Remember the first time that the word behold was mentioned in the Bible? It is about what? Provision. He already provided for everything that we need. Amen. Don't think, who will feed my children? They are good eater. Don't worry about that. God has already provided what they need to eat. Amen. Just tell the Lord, Lord, I'm here. Lastly is this, the practice. We need to be employed. Let us practice this thing. Pray. Amen. Pray the Lord of harvest that He will send forth laborers. And when you pray, make sure that you enlist your name there. Amen. God will not call you if you are not, if He does not need you to go there. Amen. So don't be afraid, just enlist. Just make your name, Lord, my name is David, enlist me. Lord, my name is Moses, enlist me. What a good church. We have in the presence of great men of God. Amen. Put your name there. Lord, my name is Vice. Lord, my name is, what's your name, brother? Martin. Lord, my name is Alan. Put me in. Amen. And put your name there. Amen. Then pray. I heard a good thing about Matthew chapter 9:38. Put your clocking alarm in 9:38, and every time it will ring, just utter a word, Lord, send more laborers. Amen. I've been praying in my country that God will bring, it is an impossible task, but just praying, 100 more missionaries in Thailand. Lord, bring more people who will labor with us to conquer that small piece of land for you. Pray for Africa. Lord, bring somebody to Russia, in Mongolia, in Kazakhstan, in Australia. Oh, I want to go there. Bring me there. No. In Indonesia, in any, make mention. Focus on one country and pray. Every 9:38, you pray. We need more prayer. Plan how much you will give. Have you ever planned how much you will give for this coming Friday? Oh, the kids already made their plan. They made their foot. I heard. They already made their plan. How about you? Make your plan. Am I going to increase my giving? That's good. Don't tell the Lord, you know what's happening today and in our situation, and I think it is good to stay in my commitment. I have a question. During this mission month, does your faith increase? Did you grow in faith? Are you encouraged on what God is going to do for you on the next days or the next year? If your faith increase, I hope your giving also will increase. It doesn't depend on the increase of your salary. It all depends on the faith that God has entrusted you. Give more. Luke chapter 6, verse 38. My mind is mixture with Thai and English. What is the first word in that verse? Give, and it shall be given unto you. Press down, good measure, press down, shaken together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom. We want the good measure, we want the press down, we want the shaking together, running, we want the running over. But the problem is, are you willing to give? Are you willing to give more? So that you will see the overflowing blessing in your life. Give more. Then proceed. Proceed to do what? To go. He presented you, behold the harvest. Who will work for his harvest? And you said, I sent you to reap. Then start reaping. Little by little. You're going to give an opportunity to talk to somebody. Why don't you share something about Jesus? When we went to a watchtower, Pastor Narvaez was given an opportunity to present us a very simple presentation of the gospel. S. Everything starts with S. Sin, separation, sacrifice, salvation, and security. Just follow that simple, present it. What you need is to accept this. There is a sin that separates you. That that sin brought some sacrifice from the Lord. You are separated, but you can be secure. Once again, let us go back to John chapter 4. Read this once again. Jesus said unto them, my need is to do the will of Him that sent me, and to finish His work. Say not ye therefore, there are yet 4 months,
And then cometh harvest. Behold, I hope this evening you're beholding this field. And you are seeing what Jesus saw. The harvest is plenty. The laborers are few. Hope you will say tonight, Lord, here is my hand. Lord, let me see what you saw. So that every time I'm going to see these people, I will look at them as a good prospect, as a harvest to be brought. I will look. Let us bow down our heads. Let us close our eyes. Father God in heaven, we can explain many things about you. But you are the only one who can open our eyes so that we will be able to see what you saw. Open the eyes of your people. May we behold, to look on, focus our eyes on what you want us to see. In Jesus' name we pray.
Every head bowed, very close, please. Nobody looking around. The Holy Spirit taught us a great lesson tonight, a great reminder. What is the prospect of the harvest? We see the potential of the harvest. We see how plentiful the harvest is. It is prepared, it's ready, and it's perishing. And we also see a problem. The problem of having few laborers. And those few laborers have possessions misused. Those few laborers are preoccupied with other things. Those few laborers are passionless. And it's also possible that those few laborers procrastinate. Bukas lang or next time lang. But we are also admonished to my reminder that we need to put these things into practice. To pray for the harvest. You pay for the harvest of souls that we should get. You can practice by preaching the word, proclaiming the gospel. You can also practice by participating, by planning, by proceeding. What great lesson the Lord taught us tonight. While every head are bowed and eyes are closed, no one is looking. Who are you tonight who is silent? Pastor, the Lord spoke to my heart. The message is for me. The Lord is reminding me of my responsibility as His child. Would you just raise your hand and say, I am raising my hand? Let's pray. Let's pray. You may put your hands down. Who among you are here tonight? You are here. You are not a part of the harvesting force. You are the harvest. You are the harvest. Who among you are not saved tonight? You don't know for sure that you will go to heaven when you die, but you want to know. And you heard the message. You heard that you are a sinner. You heard that your sin has separated you from God. Saying you will burn in hell for all of eternity because of your sins. And you will be eternally separated from God. But the Lord doesn't want to do, the Lord doesn't want you to go to hell. That's why He sacrificed for you. He died on the cross of Calvary for you. He was buried and rose again on the third day according to the Scripture. Why would God even do that? It is because of His great love for you and I. And then you have to realize also that you can be saved today. Behold, now is the accepted time. Now is the day of salvation. You can be saved now. What should you do? All you have to do is repent and welcome Jesus in your heart, into your life. Accept Him, believe in Him as your personal Lord and Savior. Believe in Him and in Him alone as your personal Savior. No one else and nothing else. And if you do that, you are forever secured in the hand of God. Who among you here tonight wants to be saved? Pastor, I'm not saying, but I want to be saved tonight. Will you raise your hand and say, anybody? Anybody? Just raise your hand. You heard the gospel. When the time comes, you cannot blame anyone because you heard the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. The gospel is that the Lord Jesus Christ died, He was buried, and rose again. And He did that to save you. My friend, if you are not saved tonight, come to Jesus. He is the only one who can save you. In just a little while, when we have the invitation, I will ask Brother Kenneth. For all the first-time visitors that we have here tonight, if you can go with Brother Kenneth upstairs and he'll talk to you. He'll show you from the Word of God how you will be saved. If God spoke to your heart tonight, Christians, if the Lord spoke to your heart tonight, you come when the invitation is given. We will do this. I will pray in just a little while. After I am done praying, we will stand, everyone, and then the piano will play softly. When you hear the piano play, you leave your seat, you come to the front, you respond to the Lord. Respond to the Lord. The Lord spoke to you for 45 minutes. It's your turn to respond and to talk to the Lord. Make a decision tonight. Make a decision. Loving Heavenly Father, we thank you for your message and for your messenger. Dear Holy Spirit, you have spoken to our hearts tonight. We were entertained, we were reminded, reminded of great harvest. We saw the problem, and Lord, it's about time for us to practice, to put into practice what we heard from your Word. And Lord, it will not happen unless we make a decision. And Satan will try to keep us from making the decision. So, Father, give us victory tonight, and every single Christian here tonight, those who are true believers, those who are your true children, take them over tonight to come and say, Lord, count me in, enlist me. Lord, I want to be a part of the few laborers who will harvest the field. Lord, bless the invitation now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Shall we all stand? Would you come right now? The piano is playing now. Moms, dads, young people, you come. Children, why don't you come also? Give your life to the Lord. Surrender your life. Like the song that we sang earlier, wherever He leads, I'll go. Lord, wherever you want me to go, I'll go. Lord, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Lord, whatever you want me to give, I'll give. Lord, just show me. Would you come tonight? I know we don't have a big space here in front, but leave your seat. Please come. Come. If you are still not sure about the decision you will make Friday, how much to give to missions every week for the next year, 52 weeks, why don't you come tonight and say, Lord, I want to know how much you want me to give to missions this year. And trust the Lord that He will provide, because He will. He will provide. You know, this 2018 until 2019, the Lord provided. And so if the Lord provided this previous year, He will certainly provide for you again this coming year. What you do for missions is not so much how you make the salary you receive. It has something to do with your faith. Do you believe God that He can provide? That's the thing, the only thing that you need to answer tonight. If you do believe God, if you really have faith in Him, there is nothing that will hold you back. You will make a decision to get it 24. You will increase your faith, promise today. Because the Lord will never leave you, He will never forsake you. He promised that He will provide for your need. Would you come tonight? We have one more verse before we close. One more verse. Just keep praying. Pray for the missionaries. Pray that the Lord will call our laborers. I really like that idea of offering a short prayer every 9:30. We see the same prayer at Luke chapter 10, verse number 2. So probably every morning at 10:02 in the morning, even just for a few seconds, just say, Lord, send more laborers. Send more laborers. Send more laborers, Lord. Just 4 words. Every time 9:38 strikes, every time 10:02 strikes, just say those 4 words again and mean it in your heart. Lord, send more laborers. But be careful when you say that prayer, because you might be the laborer that the Lord will send. You might be the answer to your prayers. And if so, just gladly follow the Lord. Just gladly follow Him. Our Heavenly Father, we praise you. We thank you for these decisions that were offered tonight from your beloved children. Lord, thank you for speaking to us. We know that this missionary that came all the way from Thailand is simply your mouthpiece. I pray, O Father, that the message we heard, those 3 points, will forever be embedded in our thoughts and especially in our hearts, and will propel us to be involved in missions, to do greater things for missions this year. We thank you for that special message. We ask and pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Were you blessed? Yes. Thank you so much, Pastor. That was a blessing. Very simple, right? Very simple.